Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you today that can benefit everyone. Can you take can you take a master class and repurpose it into a content empire that all leads to a membership? Okay, think about that as we get ready to answer that question. Welcome, everyone, to the Content Profit Show, episode 82. And even saying that, episode 82. Wow. That's all thanks to y'all, the fans, the followers. I appreciate y'all so much for being here, all the guests. Speaking of which, there's one right over here that I'll introduce in just a moment. Right below my name is a link, jeffherring.com/profit. If you want to be on the show, grab that and do it quick because we're booked. It's what, the beginning of June, and we're booking for August now. So yeah, get in there, and you'll get to do what Andy and I are about to do. And before I introduce them, I want you to watch this show with two questions in mind. Okay, question one is, how can I use what I just saw in my own niche? And then question two is, how can I get Jeff to do for me what he did for Andy? Okay, so Andy O'Brien is the co-founder of the AI Success Club, of which I'm a member. Okay, a paying member, not one of those, here, let's trade. I'm a paying member. And imagine, folks, getting every Monday a series of AI prompts that you can just use and to get the results you want. It's fantastic what you and Denise have done. And in addition to that, or probably because of that, Andy is a copywriter and does it in a unique way, because I've studied a lot of copywriting, and his is unique. So Andy, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, Jeff. And I appreciate you having me on here. I've been a big fan for many years, and it's just so amazing to actually be sitting here with you. So thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's amazing to be sitting here with you. So my pleasure, and you're so welcome. So how did you get into copywriting world?
Well, I started copywriting when I was a marketing manager and director for Time Warner Cable back in the 90s. Was actually
marketing director for a cable company. Oh my gosh.
I know, right? Fortunately, before that, I started back in the 80s when I was a disc jockey for a classic rock radio station. I would play songs and write copy while the songs were playing.
Okay.
Because, the salespeople would come in and say, I need something right away. And I would just, play some long song, go back and write copy, and that would be it. So
yeah, play Freebird and write copy, right?
Right, exactly. You got 10 minutes to play with. So that's how I learned how to do it on the fly, like really under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Then kind of honed it with Time Warner, and then back in like 2004, I started doing it solo as an entrepreneur. So and I've been doing it ever since.
What a great story. I mean, I think about the things you learn as a DJ, okay? To talk and to be like what we're doing now. So you had to be super comfortable with this long before you got here. And then the marketing stuff, I mean, you were being prepared along the way for some pretty cool stuff. And dude, hearing you say that, that's if this fails, if this doesn't work out for me, my dream, I want to be a late night talk show DJ, a late night jazz talk show DJ, and play that kind of stuff and just take questions and take calls and stuff. And,
well, you got the voice for it.
Well, thank you. I just think it would be so a blast, but there's still time, I guess. All right. So, and then you and Denise are partners in AI Success Club. And just to give a word about what AI Success Club is.
Yeah, Denise Wakeman, who is a legend in her own right in the blogging universe for many years. Sure. She and I have been friends for a while, colleagues for probably since like 2012. And we just collaborated. It was a brainstorm session back in December. We saw AI coming up. It had just started out like back in November.
Right.
And we were like, okay, this is amazing. I was a little concerned about it putting me out of a job as a copywriter. So I was like, okay, if you can't beat them, join them. How can I pivot and
Exactly.
maximize this new technology? And Denise was all over it. She was like, well, why don't we form some type of club where we do trainings and we show people prompts, and we interview experts, and that's how it started, and it just took off. Back in February, we launched, and it grew by hundreds, like almost overnight.
That's crazy. Your timing was so good.
Yeah,
and it continues.
Really fortunate.
So yeah, good on you guys. Well, let's take a look at your article. I keep calling it an article. It's a masterclass. Come on. Masterclass.
Yeah, this is the transcript of a class I did back in April, and it was a huge hit. I think there were about 200 people on the call.
Wow.
And
was that paid or free?
It was free.
Okay.
And we got about 100 members out of it right off the call, and then more trickled in a few days afterwards.
Sure.
So a lot of good nectar in here,
Oh, absolutely. And how long was the class?
It was supposed to be an hour. It ran an hour and a half. So
I know how that
you know how that is.
Yes. And so this is a really good masterclass, really good transcript. And folks, I'll put it in the show notes because it's got so much good stuff on it. Content-driven world. Yep. You really introduced the whole AI ChatGPT as an opportunity. And folks, there's two cool things that Andy has done here that you can learn from. One, given step by step on how to create something, and then he shows you real life stuff of what he's done here, and that's amazing to me. The part that I think there's lots of parts we can do stuff with, but I love this section, okay? Because those 5 pieces, where do we not need that?
Right.
From radio to teleseminar to webinar to this to copywriting, whether it's an article, book, sales letter, whatever. This is really good. So maintain a conversational tone. Whenever I read something like this, I always think of the movie Ferris Bueller, and Bueller. Anyone? Capital of whatever is anyone. I don't know if you had professors like that growing up, but I did.
Oh yeah.
And I made a promise to myself. I said, if I'm ever on the other side of this, I ain't going to be like this. I don't care what. We're going to make it fun. Speaking of which, use witty humor when appropriate. And folks, and I think you'll agree with this, Andy, that doesn't mean telling jokes necessarily. You can be humorous and witty without telling jokes.
Oh yeah, you'd be like self-effacing, just tell stories, anecdotes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's the easiest to do. Keep your vocabulary concise and accessible. What's that mean?
Well, ChatGPT, if you've ever done prompting in there, it's garbage in, garbage out. So your context of what you're asking it to do is really important. It will take your what you tell it and give it back to you in a more enhanced, more usable way. So if you're concise and accessible, that means that it will make the content that it gives you to use more accessible for the reader. So you have to be accessible first. You have to be friendly and personable and
I like that.
And short and sweet, and then it will give you that back.
Keep it simple.
Yep.
And then incorporate a mix of short and long sentences. Yeah. Break up the flow, but keep it going. Include personal anecdotes. Yeah, your own stories and experiences. I'm remembering I was sitting with this couple once. I was a counseling psychologist, and surprise, surprise, I told stories to make points. And they were taking exception with that after about the 3rd or 4th session that, you're not counseling us. You're not telling us what to do. You're telling stories. And I just looked at them. I went, y'all just really don't get it, do you? And they're like, what? they're almost offended. I said, one, um, there's everything you need inside of these stories. I worked with this one couple once that blah 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 blah, or whatever kind of stuff, and say, do this, do that. And I said, two, that's how I work. And if you want to work within that, cool. If not, I've got 3 names I can give you. And just between you and me, I was kind of hoping they were going to take those 3 names, but they didn't. Right. Anyway, but yeah, the importance of that is huge, and it doesn't. It doesn't have to be a long, complex War and Peace or even War or Peace story. In your mind, how long does one of those need to be?
I'd say just a couple sentences.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT you can give ChatGPT like 2 sentences and it will create a 500 word blog post, for example. It will do whatever you want if you tell it the right thing to do.
Yeah, and that's the secret, the prompts. So there's 5 pieces here, okay, that we can focus on. So what do you say we build something with this?
Yeah.
All right. Had to relocate my mouse, and then we'll put it up here. Okay, here we go. And do the slideshow. And there we go. Okay, I fit that in extra because it's not in one of the fancy things where I get to go like this. Okay? So we got the ChatGPT copy masterclass. That's just the phrase I used from some things you said. We can call it whatever you want.
I like that.
And then Medium is a great source of traffic. There's so many sources of traffic. This is one of the ones that's I think it's the internet's best kept secret. You saw some of that when I did that show for y'all. Recently I read where they get like 3-point-something million views a day.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a few people.
Yeah.
And so good to be in front of there. And then the masterclass, the transcript, Andy screams for an ebook or a traditional mini book that you can hold in your hand.
Yeah.
And that mini book would be a fantastic business card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you're starting over. Those 5 points we just looked at, point 1 is chapter 1, point 2 is chapter 2, and so forth. Okay.
I'd love that.
And you've done the work here. And then what I call a short-term group coaching. And by this, I mean, story, first one I did, way back in 2007, I got 5 people together. Okay. And we were going to do website reviews. Each person got 20 minutes, right? So it was about 90 minutes of work online. And I charged those 5 people $150 each, so $750 for 2 hours work with people that wanted to continue with you in some way. And, that was good back then. It's still good, $750 for 2 hours work. And so you could do it over this. You could do it over anything within the AI copy world that you could review something or give a skill, teach a skill to each person within 20 minutes. I was working earlier with a private client about doing it with guided meditations, and I think we could have sat there for 2 hours filling out the guided meditations and fill in the blanks or whatever. So there's lots of copy stuff you could do here.
Oh yeah. Great.
And then courses, and I usually put I can't do that because it's showing. I usually put the second S in parentheses because it can be a course from which many can come. Okay. So see what's happening is you and Denise are being recognized as some of the go-to people in this new frontier, right? And so that positions you well. And so, a course about this stuff would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. And it's funny you say this because I kind of soft launched a course last year before ChatGPT came along.
Okay.
But it was really only got just a handful of people checking it out. And so there it is. It's got like 22 videos. I was going to have an AI edition of that course now. So there you go.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. And then from that, I mean, this could be the signature flagship course you're known for. And from that, every module or every piece you have could become a mini course, on the front end, that drives people to this course, that keeps driving people. Next, we have a short-term membership. And, I'm talking 8 to 12 weeks. One, there's enough to get everything in, but not everything.
Yeah. Each week could be a different
Exactly.
topic.
Exactly.
Yes.
First one I ever did was, it's called, the second one I ever did was called Article Marketing for Beginners, way back in the day. And everybody got a PDF of instructions and a video training each week. Okay. One of the advantages of this is, I started when I launched it on a Thursday, I had 3 of the 12 done, but I just had to stay a little bit ahead, right?
Yeah.
Now, in all honesty, because I launched it on a Thursday, there were a few Wednesday nights I was up pretty late finishing the one that was going to go out at midnight. But it works. And the other thing about this that's cool is, let's say that you had a membership that was, well, what's y'all's membership monthly?
Monthly? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, we only do annual and lifetime.
Okay. Well, cool. We can still use this though, because we can get them to think monthly, the annual divided by 12.
Yep.
And let's say, this short-term membership was $37 a month. So 111 total. It's nice that you're doing that. But what this teaches people or gets them comfortable with is paying you every month.
Right.
And if the 3 months for this match or close to what they're spending a month on the membership, then it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, the language is easy. You've done this for 3 months. I think it'd be great if you kept doing it. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. And it goes to around 17 if you factor in, because it's 197 for the year. So divided by 12, I think that's around 17.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah. So sweet.
No brainer.
197 for the year. Oh my gosh, that's good.
It's ridiculous.
Do this before they get smart and raise their prices. All right. So, and then.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. What a cool name, huh?
Awesome.
And you've got 400, right? People in there.
Yep.
That's amazing. And you're only months old, right?
Yeah. 6 months ago, we started it mid-February, and we've got 400 paying members.
That's crazy good.
Yeah. It's wild. It's mind blowing.
I love it. And so all of these things, the ebook, the mini book, the short term, the courses, the short term membership, think of it, all roads lead to this. And this is, you'll be getting income from all of these other things, right? With everyone being an on ramp, eventually to AI Success Club. And if you think of the phrase, all roads lead to, this is a great plan to get you to your guys' next goal. I think that's the thing about many things, and it's true about the internet, if you do certain things over and over again, you can't fail. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Good things are going to happen. My belief is that no one ever fails online. Some people just give up before the magic happens.
Right.
You guys do these things. I don't know how you couldn't get to your goal.
Yeah, especially with the topic, it being AI, and it's constantly expanding, and new things are coming out all the time. And
you mean it's not just a fad? This won't be over by Christmas?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's I was talking with some people the other day, and one of them had an idea of how do we shut this down? I just started laughing, and they said, "What are you laughing at?" I said, This is a genie that's not going back in the bottle.
Nope.
It's just not. It's like you try to put toothpaste back in the tube. Not going to happen. All right. So I can tell you're getting a glimpse of the future here. Any questions?
No, this is so cool, Jeff. Thank you so much. I
Oh,
mean, the club has taken on a life of its own, and this is a great way to just ride the wave, you know.
yeah.
And I
Ride the
love
wave
that
and
you're
support.
starting with Medium because I really need to get back into that, and you are the expert on that. So I'll be learning from you as well.
Cool. Cool.
So thank
Um,
you.
you know what's amazing is how fast 20 minutes goes by. It just,
Really. Oh man.
I know. That's what, when I say that to guests, they look at the clock and they go, what? Yeah. Yeah. So, man, thanks for being a great guest, Andy. I can't wait to see what we do with this. And folks, y'all, thank you for being a great audience, fans, making this what it is. If you want to be sitting in Andy's seat, not in his home where he is, but in the content profit seat, that link is right below. And as always, you know what to do. Go use this stuff, and we will catch you on the next show.